So I was able to negotiate prizes, tangible prizes for my students that overperform. So students, they have perfect on all the quizzes in their first attempt. At the end, they get a highlight on the sustainability website. Stellar students, and they also get a gift bag from the sustainability office. These messages can be used for anything. I mean, I've gone way overboard. I have like 65 of them running in my course. But students like it. It's constant communication. The minute they do something well, or maybe not so well, they get a message from me saying it's okay, or congratulations. You know, here's how you can do better, or keep it up, great work. And just that little simple message that's generated from a bot keeps students connected to the course, even if they've never seen, even if they're never on Fennel campus where they teach. They could be in Stony Creek and they never step foot on campus, but they feel that I'm there and I'm supporting them. So you can understand why sometimes I feel like I'm working my students off. But at the same time, it's helping them. Point systems. Custom grading formulas. Most people don't even know you can do this with a learning management system, but learning management systems are pretty linear. You know, it's like, you got this right, you got this wrong, you get this mark, and it just all goes in the grade book. But you can break that by doing custom grading formulas. I do custom grading formulas for all of my checkpoint quizzes because they're worth nothing, but at the same time they're worth something. They're worth bonus marks. Right? So my checkpoint quizzes, you can see they're hidden. If they went to their grades, they wouldn't actually see checkpoint 1 through 7. But they would see another column that says bonus marks. Right? So I'm not counting what they did on each one. I'm counting how many bonus marks they get associated with their score on those checkpoint quizzes. So it looks like this. You know, it's super small. But you know, sum if checkpoint 1 points received equals 5, then 1, 0 to the grade. Right? So it doesn't actually count the grade itself. It tallies it all up in that bonus marks, and then I just go into the grade book and say, oh, look, Katie got 5, carry 5 over to the graded area. So she gets 5 bonus marks. Right? Or Mark got 2, whatever it may be. And I just carry that over. I do that at midterm, and I do that at finals. And then they get their bonus. But they can see that bonus category. They don't see every single quiz. I did that, firstly because their grade book would be miles long if I had every single checkpoint in there. But also because then they see one column tallying a bunch of points that they're getting, right? Rather than having it all sort of. So this can be done in any learning management system. I mean, it is kind of confusing. I'm not going to say I came up with all of this results, but CTL department worked wonders. The only reason I'm successful. Bosses and checkpoint quizzes. Oh, do what? Yeah. Okay, so when we do the bosses and checkpoint quizzes, there has to be some sort of reward. So like I said before, I have 7 quizzes, they have 10 questions each. Questions are all randomized, they only get 5 each time they go in. And then the answers are randomized as well. And when they get 100% on their first attempt, they get this really special video. This used to work as a badge in my course before I actually started using badges. This is something they would get once every 2 weeks that was really funny, made them laugh, and made them feel, you know, a little bit special because I hear them when I had lecture. They say, "Did you see the video? It's hilarious." Right? Like it's almost like they cared more about the video than they did the bonus. And then it drove students crazy that didn't get it. Can't turn this I mean, it's so simple to do this. All I did, you know, I went on YouTube, found out who created the video, emailed them, said, look, I'm an educator, I want to use your video in my course as a prize for my students. And I'm like, yeah, please, go ahead, use it all you want for education, no problem. Pretty well every image and every video I use, I've gotten that way. Just search the internet. You would be surprised how excited people are that create these videos that someone actually likes it and wants to use it. And they'll just give it to me. And then I just keep the email, I file it away, you know, in case they ever say, wait a second. Like, look, I've got your email right here. So this is their bonus. This is what they get. And it's just a mashup of videos. Some of them, there's like fireworks shows. It's like, you know, you're great, you're fantastic, you've done all this amazing stuff. Other times it's Will Ferrell running through a door saying, congratulations, and then it ends, and there's no bonus. And that's where they get really angry sometimes. What do you mean? I worked so hard and didn't even get a bonus. I was like, we can't get a bonus all the time. You got the video. Be happy. Collaboration and activity construction is really tricky. I mean, in my course it's easy. In math, I sat at my computer and I was like, if I was a math instructor, how would I do group work? And the only thing I could come up with is using a chat room, posting the most difficult question within the realm of what you're trying to teach, and give it to the classroom and say, whoever wants to attempt to solve this as a group, go for it. Right? And you can track all of their contribution. You can see who's talking, when they're talking, what they're doing, who's helping who. And you'd be surprised how many students are totally open to other students teaching them how to work through problems. It happens all the time in my course. I have tons of group work. Probably more group work than I actually should. If someone looked at my grades. But they actually write blog posts, right? Like 1,500 word blog posts as a group. And they all come together and find material and find images and videos and links, and they all write it out and everyone's editing for a couple weeks, and then they post it live on WordPress. And it's there for the world to see. And some of them won't take it as serious as they should until they realize, wait a second, I just put that on the internet and anyone that searches sustainable food production is going to be able to see that. Once they realize that, they start thinking about it a little bit differently. But I think the chat function would really work in math classes to say, you know, you want to earn some bonus marks, contribute to the solution of this problem. Figure it out. If you think it, never put a limit on your students' capability. That was one piece of advice that was given to me when I was hired at Moore College. Never cap your students, and they'll surprise you every single time. You know, and just give them enough time to figure it out. Right? Leave it for the whole semester. Say, you know, as a group, solve this question. I think that's really cool. With my collaboration, it's a massive learning experience for students. It's not as gamified as I'd like it to be, but I just put badges into the collaboration tool. So, you know, based on their contribution to their discussions, they'll gain like the group leader badge. They'll get that, and, you know, most up and coming leader, all that kind of stuff. So we built out all these badges, put in all these restrictions, and now they're gaining these badges as well. So, discovery. So Easter eggs. How many people know what an Easter egg is? Anyone ever found an Easter egg on a website? We found this freakishly weird Easter egg on Mohawk College's website. Mohawk College just updated its website, so we were kind of messing around seeing if we could break it, so that we could tell it's a friend of mine that built it, so we were going to bug it if we could break it. And we just happened to click on the date on a form. You know, like the copyright date? Click there, and a video game opens up. And it was like Disney World's Aladdin video game started playing on Mohawk College's website. And I was like, what is this? And he was like, I've never seen that. I swear to God, copyright infringement, that wasn't me. And I was like, it's pretty awesome. And then we found out it was the IT department, and they checked it. There's no copyright on it anymore. But that's an Easter egg, right? And you can build those into your courses with release conditions. So, you know, just think of the most far-fetched release condition you could ever think. A student clicks on, you know, or attempts the quiz 300 times or 75 times on a quiz to get it right, and they'll unlock a video saying, you just did not give up. This is crazy, but congratulations, right? You can do that sort of thing, right? And then when the student finds it, it's going to make them feel really good, right? Especially, I mean, I have students, as you'll see in a minute, we built a simulator for my sustainability course, and one student played the simulator for 18 hours. 18 hours, non-stop, played it over and over and over. That's more than I've played it, until he maxed out the resources on his island. I'll show you a video in a minute. So game-based learning, getting off the gamification. Game-based learning is a type of gameplay that's defined by learning outcomes. Generally, game-based learning is designed to balance subject matter with gameplay. Okay, so the first time I ever came in contact with game-based learning. It was this bubblegum and surplus value. And the game was created in like 1965. And it's still played in sociology, radical sociology programs to this day. So the teacher would have a bubblegum machine. Some people would get bubblegum and other people wouldn't. And they would have to work to get bubblegum, and they would try to climb the social ladder. And in the end, the only way to actually overcome the entire system is to overthrow the educator and take the bubblegum machine and distribute the bubblegum evenly. But it's a really complex game that takes, it's like 3 weeks to play out in a course. So, I mean, the educator has to be dedicated and play through. But it was the first time where I actually saw a game that matched, the learning outcomes of the course. And the students were having fun. They were having a blast trying to figure out how do we make equality within society. Well, you got to overthrow the 1% and take all the money and distribute. It's kind of radical, but it was cool. 1965. So, utilizing Brightspace, in my experience, to create simulations within the classroom, the entire course is the game. We have a few of these at Mohawk. So the first is Forensic Anthropology and Bioarchaeology, or BONES for short. All the students call it BONES. They become a forensic anthropologist, and they're given a box of bones, actually tangible. They're in class. They wear lab jackets. You'll see them in the video in a minute. And they actually get this box of bones, and they have to access their learning management system. And they learn about carbon-14 dating and all this stuff, and then they have to submit back into the learning management system. We'd like to do this sort of testing. They have a budget that's all controlled in the learning management system. And they literally have tangible bones that they access every single, they're reconstruction bones. But, they have to figure out, did this person die of syphilis, or did they die from a hammer, to the sternum, whatever it may be. There's all different cases, 14 of them in the course. And the students every day become forensic anthropologists. Macroeconomics, which is in development right now, we're building out a course where they would learn about macroeconomics, and then they would put it into play almost like a mock UN, where groups of students or countries, and they're given scenarios, and they have to work with one another and work out how they're going to, develop. That's going to be a crazy one. We're still working on it. And then Go Mohawk, we just built a student recruitment app. So within education, we tend to think that the learning only happens in the classroom a lot of the time, but a lot of learning happens socially, and even prior to coming to college. What type of person are they going to be? What can they expect when they get here? With our international students, we asked them, what was the hardest thing for you coming to Mohawk College? And they said, not knowing what it was like, not knowing what supports were there, not knowing, am I going to walk into this place that's covered in ice and everyone's white? Right? And these were legitimate fears that they had. They said the only thing I had seen is pictures on Google of an empty college. I don't know who's there, right? And I could read all this stuff, but I don't really read English all that well. So we built up this tool. I'm going to show you each of them. So this, one thing that we did in liberal studies at Ocma College is we made trailers for all of our courses, movie trailers. We're like, you can take this course, it's fantastic. This professor will teach you. I'll show you Forensic Anthropology and Bioarchaeology trailer. So students can access this on our website. There's the students working through the problem. I mean, these students have a blast. You can hear them in our offices, like, trying to figure it out, throwing solutions at Dan. He was doing Dan. He created the course. And they're really into it. So we've got one of those for all of our courses in general arts and science, which now delivers all of our electives. So students throughout the college, when they go to pick their elective, they watch a trailer like this that hopefully gets them, there's a women's studies one that makes women's studies look super, super edgy, even though some people are like, I teach women's studies. It's a really fun course to be in, especially with, surprisingly, men really like get into it, and women tend to shy away. It's really interesting. I should write a report on that. So the International Recruitment App. This is a big one. This is my baby. I just finished building this. It just launched in India 3 months ago. And now it's global. And we just did a second version, domestic version for domestic students, because when we did beta testing, we found that domestic students said that they would benefit from something like this, just a bunch of international students.
It's difficult choosing a college. We understand. How do you know what college offers the best access and support systems for its students? And getting to campus to do a tour can be expensive and time-consuming.
Just so you know, this happens every time you walk through the door of a college. It's like a cheering section.
So we're trying something.
So we drew the entire college in 3D.
Process easier for you.
And we got a student leader that walks them through. This runs on any smartphone or tablet.